Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel again. So first of all, I want to say sorry first since I wasn't able to upload the last two recaps of the World Championship match in time. I was having a national team event in my country and I think I played well. I got first in both two events, so I think that's something to celebrate, isn't it? But okay, here I'm back. So as I promised last time, I will still try to cover every round in my recap. Although it's late and although I am pretty sure you guys may have watched the recap and I think the videos explain about the moves in plenty of channels, I will still do it since as mentioned earlier, it is the promise. So first of all, I will do game 5 today, right? I will do 5 today, and game 6 I will do later on. So, but game 5 here, after 4 games, I think game 4, Ding managed to win, right? And he made the event become 2-2, which is obviously very, very fun. So they got a rest day, and they got to round 5 here, and the Nepomniachtchi got white again. So obviously people may wonder what the formation may play, but for me, so it actually is fairly, predictable. In the first game, as you can remember, so Nepomniachtchi played e4, right? Played Ruy Lopez, and he got some kind of initiatives. Game 3, he played d4, but he never got any kind of advantage at all. So game 5, it is kind of very predictable that he will switch to his Ruy Lopez again. And obviously, things go as planned. Let's go. e4, e5, f3, c6, b5, a6 here, show a4, f6, castles, should be7. As you know, so in game 1, he play here, right? And e1 and d4. But I think it should be some kind of, one game attempt. I don't think we will see that like to the end of the event. Since if Ding came prepared, he would not be in trouble. I think so. d3, b5. So this is the main line. This is actually fairly immortal options. b3, this. Obviously, it's not the only setup available. Like, why can't we stop the bishop d2, a4, knight c3, e1? Here there are just so many things to play, and there are just so many playable stuff. Back to the end. So c3, castles, h3, which should be 7, h4. I think here, so there are many stuff to play. If I was not mistaken here, so knight e5 is the main line, which should be fine too. Also, knight b8 should be also be fine as well, if I was not mistaken, which lead to some kind of rare setups. But here, which should be 7, a4. This is really pretty rare move. I think main line is like e1 or knight d2, and then go for this very natural knight maneuver. a4, knight e5, bishop e2. This is the ideas, since now you can see that, knight e5 is always what I want to achieve. So bishop need to go here, right? But by a4, the bishop can stay on a2, which is a pretty dangerous diagonal. So bishop a2, c5, bishop c5 here. This is a new move. It is pretty obvious that Nepomniachtchi must have come well prepared, and he must have some ideas here waiting to be revealed. a6, okay, this one for me is slightly unnecessary, since I think white may want to play here later on, although he may need to part with the bishop pair. But when the position is kind of close like this, so close positions, bishop pair there may not be so useful. Also, this square may be weakened later on in the middle game, like here can be a plan. So in the game, this one takes. I feel like, since I want to play here, anyway, so I can just play d7 or e8 here, maybe somewhat more useful. This is here, the d2. So it takes here, d2. So the progression looks, I would say, very, really fast. Like just so typical, you know? Somehow, so I mean, white is now. I mean, sorry, not sorry. White is fine for sure. Black had bishop pair, but bishop here is pretty close and pretty blocked by his own pawn, so it doesn't do anything much right now. I think d5 is the most natural attempt here, since it opened up the position, and for a portion of, you know, bishop pair, this thing should be the best. So takes here, takes. I mean, let me take here first actually, let's say here, and I feel this one is reasonable, like queen e4, knight e4, I think it should be equal eventually. Knight c6. But that is the most difficult things to play here, since like, you know, sometimes there are so many options, you know. d5. Takes, d7, and d1. Up to now, Ian was still blazing on his move, indicating that he was still in preparations. Wait, a natural move for sure. I will say like he wanted to get a5 as well, so this one is pretty natural. With d1. So here, I think starting from here, it's hard to recommend something so easy for black. There are several possible plans, and I can tell you that whenever you have a position when there are so many things playable, it's not so easy to choose the best move. Sometimes you might even choose something not the best one, not even the best. So here, there are several plans. I think, I don't know, knight 7 on those 5, I don't really like this one, since take here, and I think white can starting here, like h4, which resemble the game. If you play like, I mean like, rook a7, I don't know, like just simply like knight, rook a9, f1, here, I don't know. I think the best way to play is like, you know, trying to play rook a6 maybe, trying to go here and try and chase the bishop away without parting with the bishop pair. In a game, bishop d8. The idea is quite subtle. In fact, you know, when I saw the game live, I only understood that this was the ideas. Although I don't know what is bishop doing on b6. I guess on c4 eventually, but I don't think bishop here will do much. I'd rather choose like here and here as well, which may although be around equal. In the game, bishop d8, knight f1, knight 7. The engine dislike it. Although, to be honest, it's not really clear why. My stoppage right now in depth 22 give it only like +0.07 for white, indicating that it is very close to equal. I guess with deeper depth, it will be, you know, showing much more for white. But the thing here is that, you see here, right? To this one. So now, white get decent positions, some looking chances here on the king side, and somehow he got some huge edge on clock too. With the game, bishop here, h4, exclamation mark. You know, the idea is to push the Harry H pawn is very common, to be honest, in the highest level of chess. So the thing here is that like h5 and h4, and you see, right? Let's say here, if black display like here, for instance, h5, and see now, right? Somehow now there are some clear plan that forces black to be really cautious. Here, for instance, queen e2, and then here, and then nice choice here, right? And all of a sudden, you need to be very precise, to be honest. But to the game here, queen 6 here, h5, c4. So they decided to go for some activities, which is very understandable. Bishop's not open, right? Knight h4 now is also precise due to this, and now black is doing very okay. So d4, that's the thing to do. When obviously you need to not only get a center but also prevent the straight. Queen e4 along knight c4, when you can just win some material, isn't it? Let's say here, you take here and you go d5. So now you can just play that, and you know this pawn is poison. The idea here still remain very strong. d4, it's not easy here to suggest the thing. It's right now simple. Take here, right? Rook d8 is best engine choice, but even h4 he looks quite dangerous. Queen e4, knight 5, losing material. So I don't know. I feel this is looking quite tricky. The engine put out like ED4, and then like knight 5 here, takes, and then like queen 8, which is actually a very hard move. So it's oops, sorry, my microphone just dropped. So not even wonder that why they couldn't see on the detail here. ED4 in the game, 74, queen c5. Then try his best to bring the queen to defend instantly. Queen g4. The engine pointed out that queen f3 is the best way to look for initiatives. The idea is clear, since the idea is that e5 is the main thing, is the main threat here, right? As you can see here earlier, so knight 5 doesn't work due to this, and now take here allow queen f2, isn't it? So that's why queen f3 here defend the pawn, preparing knight 5 and preparing e5 as well. Queen f5 is g4, and e5 will be knights, right? And if not right now, so let's say rook e8 here, so now you can play queen g4 with this inversion ideas, right? But as I mentioned earlier, this looks very unnatural. Back to the game, queen g4, queen e5, queen e7 now. It's not a big deal since take here and then queen e4, so that's why in the game. Queen f3, queen e6, knight f5. Here, I think the best way to play is queen f6, this one, right? And then I think now the worst is basically over. So here, and then I don't know. I think black should be okay. Like queen here later on, maybe, or we here. I think white still feel like better, but then it's not so easy here to prove it. It's like here, this one, right? This one, I think, coming next. So I mean, it's not easy anymore. In the game, so Ding takes here, e5, and I think here Ding thought that white has the double pawn in the king side, right? Which is not too strong here, but this one features one of the most important concept in chess. In middle game, double pawns are not that bad. They can generate some attack, get you open file, and do you plenty of things. Queen f6 here, queen e4. Now the queen is centralized, right? d5 is never achievable, and now white slowly get upper hand here. Bishop here is not doing much, and rook here must always stay in the back line to defend the back line, Let's say here for instance rook a2, isn't it, right? So here, and now this one comes late when you should be in real problems. To the game, we are here with a2, an excellent prophylactic move. The idea is here, let's play the g3 for instance, right? You can play like b4. Here queen b2, isn't it? So by rook e2 here, not only you defend the pawn b2, so b4 doesn't become a threat, but also the pawn f2 here can also be defended more as well. So this one is a very nice move. c5, g4. This one mixing both attack and defense. Although it looks weird to push the pawn in front of your king, but now obviously you should not be worried about your king's safety, since black have no ways to create any attack, and g5 can become a threat. The pawn here also covered too. Queen d8, queen d5, pf8, pf1. Here it's not too easy here to suggest the best move. I think both key moves here are quite good here. To improve the king's position, taking away from bishop's diagonal. Also preparing the plan to path up here to the attack. So here, and here are both, engine's preference. But, sometimes these king moves here are pretty subtle, so it's not easy to be carried out. Back to the game. So, f1, see it? I guess Lin just want to sit and wait. It's now in time to, I guess queen c is on the way to play here. So prepare to bring the queen to, b7. Also kind of, I would say prevent white from carrying out this thematic pawn retreat in the game. Okay, sorry, let's start it in the game here. See it here. Before, the rook supports the decisive king side break with this and this. Bishop here, bishop here is pretty useless. Rook here as well. And although the material is equal, an engine thing that's only around, white is better, not winning, but it's just hard for black to recommend anything special. Also, Ding is seriously down in time now, which is another important factor. Be it again, g5, see right? And now here Ding made a serious mistake, which I mean in time scramble is understandable. It's not easy here to suggest things for him. This one is the best engine choice, but here, and this one looks quite scary, right? Rook e7 is coming next. Also, like knight g5, you know, knight h4, knight f5, and knight e5 too. And I think the king here somehow is very, very safe. Let's say here, for instance, here, knight e4, for instance, here. And then, I don't know, like, this can be a threat here, or no, like, when queen f5, queen here. I think what should be much better, I think so. But to the game, g5. This one, in fact, is a wrong move. But sadly it is. Ding is so down on time. I'm sorry for some yawning. Just back home from the event yesterday, so still gotta be tired. Rook g4. So here, I'm pretty sure in the game, Ding missed this line with f6 defend the pawn, right? But now knight h4 coming very strongly. Take here, allow this one. And take here is mid, isn't it? You can see here, it is mid and g7 next. And if not this one, if it doesn't take here, so the pawn can just become a passer, you know? And this one also looks very, very deadly. And if it doesn't take a knight here, this one coming next, and his king just become a huge target. And it is deadly for him whatsoever. In the game group here, knight g5. I watched the game live. I'm pretty sure here Nepomniachtchi still got like 50 minutes, while Ding only get like a minute on the clock. e1, check, king e2. Move 40 now is rich. But sadly, the position of black is hopeless. The bishop here is so useless. The rook here doesn't do anything as well. And this pawn push here, creating a passer, is just too strong. Rook h1 doesn't work here due to a very simple ideas of f6, you see, right? And here, so queen e8, and we got this puzzle rush theme, isn't it? So now the threat is just f6. There's no clear way to deal with it. In the game, Ding play, I think, one of the best move here, queen e8. Best choice, but king f3, run away from the pin, queen e8. Now you come to queen d2 to cover this one, but then I think Nepomniachtchi just saw other things and he went for the most professional decisions. He went for an easily winning endgame. You know, when you're converting winning positions, transposing the type of initiative is always a very typical way to convert. Here, f6. Now the passers here is created. Test here, right? Test this, and now knight g8, and then the pawn here simply couldn't be stopped. You know? Rest of the game. So g6 here, takes, rook g6 here, rook e2, king g4. And now sim knight g5 here, this one in the game, takes and takes. And Ding resign. The king goes to f5 and has a meeting net. With the, third decisive game out of 5, each better than the other, I think this is one of the wildest start in the history of World Chess Championship match. So, obviously here we can see that the Ruy Lopez here by Ding is not working greatly this event, right? But he is always known to be a guy who play e4, who play e4 and who counter e4 with e5. I really want to see if he may come up with something special today, like something not e4, not e5, or something more subtle. Nepomniachtchi obviously clearly well prepared against this. So 3-2 after game 5, and what an interesting matchups. Round 6 will be uploaded very shortly as well.